Hey everyone, this episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast is brought to you by StockX. And you know what I've been getting into recently is watches, collecting watches over the last year. I've developed a bit of a collection, and the hardest thing about buying watches secondhand is you just can't trust anybody, especially on the internet. It's easy to fake things, fake photographs and stuff. And so if you're into watches and you want to buy them online, check out StockX. Here's how it works. It is the first online stock market of things for high-demand consumer products, including sneakers, watches, and handbags. StockX connects buyers and sellers using the same methodology as the world's stock markets, an anonymous live bid-ask market. All products are physically authenticated by StockX. Let me say it again. All products are physically authenticated by StockX. So if you buy something on the internet, if you buy something on StockX, the seller will send it to StockX themselves. You then send your money to StockX themselves. They have authenticators that make sure that what you're getting is real, is exactly what you're paying for, and it's in the correct condition. And then they send the seller their money, send you your product. It works brilliantly. I've used it myself as a customer. They also offer transparency of data, including real-time market pricing, in-depth market analysis, individual portfolio tracking, historical sales and volume metrics, so you know where the curves are going on these high-value products. That means no stressing about shady buyers and sellers, no lengthy descriptions, and no blurry pictures to decipher. All the watches are in excellent or better condition. All you have to worry about is finding the watch you want and placing a bid you feel comfortable with. StockX makes buying and selling watches online a lot better. Trust me, give it a try yourself at StockX.com/smoking. That's StockX.com/smoking. This episode is also brought to you by Stamps.com. Listen, nowadays you can get almost anything on demand. You can call a car to your house, you can order food, you can get movies, anything. Like this podcast, it's all on demand. Listen where you want, when it's convenient for you. Did you know you can also do that with the post office? Right? You don't have to go to the post office anymore. You can get postage on demand. That works super well for people like me. I ship out t-shirts and stickers and all kinds of stuff from here at our studio, and I print out the postage here and then just drop it in the box or leave it in the lobby of our office for the mailman to come get it. It's easy. With Stamps.com, you can access all the services of the post office right from your desk at your home office. Buy and print real U.S. postage for any letter or any package. It's all available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You decide you got to send a package at 3 in the morning on a Saturday, boom, click, print, mail, you're done. Stamps.com will even send you a digital scale. You can weigh your letters and packages and print out the exact amount of postage every time. Now, use code TIRE for a free 4-week trial. Includes postage and a digital scale. Oh yeah, don't wait. Go to Stamps.com right now. Before you do anything else, click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage and type in TIRE. Hear that again? Go to Stamps.com and click on that microphone at the top of the homepage, type in TIRE. Stamps.com, enter TIRE, and you get a 4-week trial, including postage and a digital scale from your friends at Stamps.com. All right, today in studio, it's a good episode. We've got Mr. Tony Quiroga of Car and Driver. He's dishing some dirt on the lightning lap episode of their magazine that's coming out, where they take some of the fastest cars on the planet to VIR and run lap times. We also do our normal state of bullshittery, but it's a strong appearance from Mr. Quiroga, and we're lucky to have him back. It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Here we go. And it's the Smoking Tire Podcast. That's the start of it. Friday afternoon in the studio. Hello, we're all still here. This is our third show in a row. 3 days in a row. 3 days, 3 shows. Oh. Tony Quiroga of Car and Driver, sipping on that beeline coffee.
So good.
What's up, homie?
Not much.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
He opened the door. I haven't seen him in years.
Wake your ass up.
No, I'm up.
How's everything?
Everything's great.
It's August. Does that mean it's lightning lap time?
Just about.
Yeah.
I wanted to desperately talk about that today, and I can talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
But I can't reveal everything since this will air before the issue comes out. We're closing that issue this week.
Okay, cool. So you got a little bit. right.
So we've got like another 3 weeks before that.
But you
issue
already did
arrives.
the driving.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I can talk about it a little.
A little?
A little.
No drive impressions, embargoed. Drive impressions embargoed.
Well, I don't want to scoop ourselves.
I think I might have scooped myself recently accidentally, but only for the people who were listening to the live stream podcast, which was
Right.
like 200 people. I don't give a
That's
shit.
a lot.
Is it?
I thought you were going to say
Sound-
2.
It doesn't sound like a lot. 200 doesn't sound like much. What the fuck else is going on? What have you been driving? Anything good?
Yeah, I drove the Veloster N. I saw you had a Veloster
I have the R.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the N?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
so let me start with the
Tony
R,
can't talk about
and then you can
anything.
talk about the N. Let me tell you what I liked and didn't like about the R, because I haven't driven a Veloster since 2012.
Right.
The turbo.
This is the new one. Yeah,
this is the new
the
one.
19.
Yeah, there. Give us that. That's the molten orange or whatever that color is. That's the one I got. So, $23,000. What are you doing over here?
The image here is
Oh.
stretched.
Oh, the aspect ratio is slightly off.
It looks askew, my
Oh,
friend.
the aspect ratio in our output might be a little off, so this car may look a little lower and wider than it really is. Sorry, maybe we can figure
Oh,
that
good.
out.
My profile needs to be stretched. That's good.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, how do I? Does the camera add 40 pounds to me as well? So this thing is it's 2,950 pounds. It's $23,000. It has a 200 horsepower turbo 1.6 with a 6-speed manual. And it has unlike the regular Veloster, it has a multi-link rear suspension instead of the trailing arm. So roughly the same as like if you go from a Jetta to a GLI, it's like that level of difference, right? And it's still got the 3 doors. It's not as like strange looking anymore. It's like a little more normal looking now.
I think it's pretty good looking.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's conservative. Like I had someone actually was like, "Hey, nice car" to me the other day. I was like, "Okay."
Really?
yeah, which was odd. And it's on 18-inch Pilot Sport 4s.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which
I
is
saw that.
it's a lot of tire. Pulse 0.95 G apparently.
You can get Pilot Sport 4s now with a Subway sandwich, I think. Everything has those, and they're very good.
So the good is that it's like fast enough to feel like you're going. And it is pretty settled over bumpy roads with that multi-link suspension. The ass isn't like flopping all over the place. It's pretty planted. But the controls are a little mushy still. And how big are your feet?
They're
Tony?
small.
They're small,
Yeah.
right? Like a 9?
8.5.
8? Oh, you really? Okay, really small.
I used to own a Caterham and I could wear shoes in it.
So you don't have this problem. My feet hit the top of the pedal box.
Oh, that's
There's
so
like an
annoying.
ECU there.
Right.
And we tested it, right? So I'm an 11.5. Tim is a 9.5. Zach is a 10.5. So Tim clears, Zach grazes, and I hit a brick wall. And I
That's so annoying.
emailed, Nunez, who, at Honda PR, and I was like, dude, what's up with this? Is this right? And he was like, wow, that's really weird. Like, I'm going to get with engineering and I'll get back to you. And I didn't hear anything, which really means
Right, yeah.
engineering
Oops.
called him back and went, yeah, that's how it is.
Oh, you want us to move like an electrical connection 3 weeks before the delivery?
So
Sure.
that's kind of a problem. And then the brakes were super, super soft and mushy, not befitting. So for me, like a Fiesta ST is a better driver's car. The engine was like lazy, revvy. What's the word? It's not like, I guess like it's like
Yeah, the
speed
throttle
at
response.
which
The
it
throttle
revs.
response is really bad.
Yeah.
So you hit the throttle and then it takes
It's just-
off as
it's-
if it has a really heavy flywheel.
Yes,
Yeah.
as if it has a really heavy flywheel, which it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, for a 1.6, it doesn't like spin up fast. It's weird. So it's hard to recommend.
I haven't driven it.
It's hard. It's hard.
I know
to
they tested
recommend.
it back in Ann Arbor, but I haven't.
Look,
driven
if you
it.
want a better looking Civic SI, that's kind of what I would look at. That
The
as. I know I
radio
haven't
was
driven,
good.
but yeah.
The infotainment was good. Like it was comfortable and spacious and has a nice trunk. Like, but it just it feels sluggish unless you're really punching
hammering
it.
it.
Yeah, it's not like the Fiesta ST made like going to the grocery store kind of a fun little activity, and this has none of that. Although it's sort of fun when you start pushing it. So that's that. You'll see a video on it on Monday. That's the R. I really did try to like it, but I found it difficult. You drove the N. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I drove the
thing.
N really briefly. We had 2 laps of the Nürburgring following
That's a
a
good
driver.
brief.
Yeah,
If you're going
It
to
was
do
fun.
it briefly, that's a good one.
So 2 laps of the Nürburgring and then like 20 minutes of a street drive.
Is that it? Wow, they really type R'd the fuck out of it, huh?
Yeah, it's got a ton of front end
Look at
grip.
that. If you look at just the lower half of the front bumper, you have a Shelby GT350. Really? Look, no, really, like the black little mustaches it's got down there. That's GT350 like, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's got the little like the little vents that direct air around the front tire. And
I swear, man, that headlight
cool.
too. That whole front little corner. If you just drew a box, a little strike zone around the front headlight and the lower intake and the lower bumper, that's very GT350 to me.
It'd be funny if you just stretched the front.
Yeah. Okay, so you drove it at the Nürburgring.
yeah, and we drove the performance package cars, which had 275 horsepower.
Oh, is that the Sonata turbo motor?
It is.
It is.
It's a modified Sonata turbo motor, lower compression
it's a good
ratio,
motor, right?
more boost. Yeah, no, it's really strong. It's really fun. It was.
Yeah.
I was really, really impressed by it.
Does it have a diff?
Yes, and it has an electronically controlled diff.
I don't think the R has a real
Probably
diff.
not. No, it's probably just an open diff.
I think it's open because it pulling
and
out.
it's got the performance pack has a 19-inch P0 that's built for the car. It's an HN spec P0 for the N.
That's necessary.
Yeah, well, no, it was nice because the base car has the same wheel and tire package as the R.
Okay.
So it has the 4s or the 4S.
Yeah, well, that's a
I can't
good
remember.
base option.
So then you step up to this and you get a bit more grip. It sort of reminded me of I haven't driven a Civic Type R. I haven't driven a Civic Type R that much, but it sort of reminded me of that. Like
Well, that's
tons and
good.
tons of front end grip.
That's good.
And I think that was sort of their bogey in terms of handling, and it
Yeah.
sort of feels that way.
How are the brakes?
They're good. It's the brakes off of a Korean market Optima.
Okay.
Okay.
But bigger. I mean, it's obviously
Optima's
built
a much
for a larger
heavier
car. Yeah,
so
exactly.
That should be good.
So yeah, and no brake fade problems. Although after the first lap, about a lap and a quarter in, my car got stuck in third, and it wouldn't come out. I mean, I could shift into fourth. I think it was like a cable shifter issue.
It is a cable shifter, yeah.
So
and they
I was
spread the
stuck.
exhaust on this one too.
Yep.
The R has the center exhaust, and this has the spread dual. Which I have to be honest, I was working out of the hatchback, just fucking with my camera gear and stuff. And I don't know how many people stand behind idling cars very often, but a problem with all center exit cars is if you stand behind them while they're on and you're messing with the trunk, you get shins full of soot.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Hot
It goes
soot.
right up your legs.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Which one's the higher end? The N's higher?
N is higher. Did
Yeah,
they tell you how
the
much
N.
it's going to cost?
No, they didn't. So
How
they
much
let
could it be?
Probably
I think
less
it's
than
going to
the R,
start
Type R.
around GT money. I mean,
Sorry?
GTI money.
Okay, so like
So like
27?
27, 28
See, that's not bad.
for the 250 horse, and then the 275 I bet will be like a $2,000, $2,500 package. So it'll just be under 30. At least those are my guesses.
Does the diff come with the performance package?
Yes,
All right,
yeah,
see, that's where it's
exactly. You
worth
get the
it.
19-inch wheels. You get the
Yeah.
extra 25 horsepower.
That's
That seems
worth
like
it.
that seems like a lot of good, for what it is, fast hatchback for that price. Versus
Well, I
the
mean, that's
Civic
my
Type R
guess.
is,
I mean, maybe they'll
40.
price it at the same as a Type R or a Golf
I
R,
hope
but
not.
I
No one's
don't. I mean, they wouldn't be that
35 grand on
stupid.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? It when I went to the Nürburgring earlier this year. I drove with RSR Nürburg and drove a Renault Megane 265, and that reminds me of that.
Right.
Yeah. How was Did it rev hang?
A little bit, but
Why do
not
all
really.
Hyundais rev hang?
I think it's an emissions thing.
But it's just Hyundais. They haven't figured out another way to get their emissions. We've been complaining about this for like 5 years.
Sorry for me. How would that affect the emissions? Letting it stay at an RPM?
I mean, that's.
Or is that because
I actually asked
heavier
Chubba that question.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did he give you a real answer?
He gave me a response. Where's my phone?
Is it because
Let's go to Chubba for this argument.
does a heavier
Because I didn't know either, Zach.
is it a
and
heavier
it's a great
flywheel?
question.
Heavier flywheel helps like momentum, and that
I don't know
helps
if it's actually a
efficiency, so
heavier
it's
flywheel or
byproduct.
if it's just programming.
Oh, okay.
It
keep
could
it.
be like an in-gear inertia thing, right? But it's definitely fucking annoying. I have to, the R at least, I haven't done the N obviously, but the R, you have to shift noticeably slower, intentionally slower.
Wow.
To match it, which is like, it's annoying.
Yeah, Volkswagens used to do that.
And also, it's got zero clutch feel. which makes
I
it
don't like that
actually
either.
a little tough to get off the line compared to other cars. Like I can't feel it in my foot. It's weird.
It's all like ankle memory.
Do you have the
I have the
Chubachetta
answer
response?
from the engineering gods.
Hell yeah.
It says it all has to do with transient air-fuel ratio. Back in the days of carburetors, some of the fuel that got into the combustion chamber was vaporized in the throat of the carburetor, and a fair amount made its way to the intake valve in liquid form along the walls of the intake manifold. This worked fine in steady state, but during sudden throttle changes, the airflow along the manifold walls didn't track the airflow change, causing temporary rich or lean conditions. The catalyst, which only operate properly at stoichiometric air-fuel ratios of 14.7 to 1, didn't like this. When you suddenly open the throttle with the carburetor, you solve the temporary leanness by using the accelerator pump to dump some extra fuel into the intake stream. However, when you suddenly close the throttle, you cut the airflow quickly, while a fair amount of fuel was still making its way to the intake valves along the manifold walls. This caused a period of overly rich running.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to port injection, most of this problem went away, but there was still some wall wetting of the intake port caused by the spray from the fuel injector, which could lead to similar, though much smaller air-fuel ratio perturbations. I suspect this is why some engines still have such calibrations. Though with direct injection, I can't imagine any reason why you would need this. And it's a direct injection
engine.
So maybe it's just
I mean, that's a amazingly detailed response.
well, that's what you get when you
but it
ask
doesn't.
John a
But that
question.
doesn't apply to this engine.
No, I guess not. But I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe they
everybody
just
else
keep
can
doing
figure
it.
it out.
We gotta ask Bozy. He's probably on the fucking live
I mean,
stream.
is it-
Bozy might know this.
Yeah, he'll probably respond. Like
Yeah.
if he's saying that if the valves are stuck open for even a millisecond, the direct injection is stuck open for a millisecond, would that then pull fuel back into like the intake clamp
cause
and then get stuck there?
condensation of fuel on the intake manifold? Maybe.
I don't. I mean, with direct injection, you're going right in.
Yeah,
So
that's fucking weird.
I don't know.
I don't know, but only Hyundai has this problem. There's no other car. I drove 600 cars in the last 2 years. The only cars that hang revs are Hyundai 4-cylinders.
I remember VWs used to do it. Maybe it was
Really?
more than 2 years ago, but yeah, absolutely.
It's man, I don't know. It was
And
weird.
it's very annoying.
But overall impressions of the N were good.
Yeah, really positive.
Okay.
I found it really fun.
Okay.
Depends on where they're going to price it, though. For me, I still really like the GTI because it's sort of a whole package.
Yeah.
And this is more extreme, but for somebody who wants a Type
Yeah,
R
but
but doesn't want to
you're a
spend the extra
grown-up.
money.
Yeah, you're a grown-up.
exactly. I'm over 40.
Yeah.
So
It's fucking
So the
weird when
big
that
spoiler,
happens, right?
yeah,
when
no,
when
totally.
all of a sudden you decide you don't want wings anymore.
right, exactly. And you want a quieter exhaust. It's got an adjustable exhaust as part of the performance package, and I just kept it
Yeah.
pretty quiet. I mean, I experimented with the other settings.
Yeah.
And it gives you a nice pop and
Does it
bang.
sound
from
good?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The
It sounds great.
1.6 is not it doesn't sound bad. You're not like ew, but it has speaker exhaust.
Yeah,
And
so does this car. But it also has the flap and the actual muffler.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if this has an actual flap or not, but it's just we'll wait and see with the drive-bys. I haven't heard what the drive-bys sound like yet, but I mean,
I wonder how much of it is like the clever pricing of, for $22,000 you get a decently quick hatchback.
Yeah.
It sounds like kind of, but if you want all those boxes checked and you want to like feel that electricity, you have to spend the extra money. Like you can't. They're not going to give you everything for that little money because they know if you're an enthusiast that you'll stretch.
I don't think the interior is particularly nice either. I mean, the Veloster starts at like 18 or 19,000, and
the material,
even when you move up,
the design is good, but
the design's
materials
great. It's
are
all hard
all
plastics.
plastic.
Yeah, no, and even in the N, it's you get the nice touchscreen and everything, and the design, like Matt said, is great, but the materials aren't that nice. They're not up to GTI spec.
Not
No.
GTI. No, it's probably materials wise, it's on par with a Fiesta.
Yeah,
The Fiesta-
I mean,
Fiesta
it looks like an
ST has-
$18,000 car. And stuff.
Yeah, totally. But all right, it's for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who because I don't see a lot of them around
No.
LA.
No, not
I
at
drove
all.
a base one once. Yuck. What an awful car it was. It couldn't get out of a fucking way of a squirrel.
Was that on the press launch where you couldn't drive on the street?
No, you know what that was? That was Elantra GT. and now this is my first Hyundai since I have a clean driving license.
Right.
So I'm finally allowed to drive
sample them?
unsupervised. Yeah. At the press launch, there was no one around. I had to be chaperoned into the car.
I remember you telling me that.
And nobody was around, so John Kraftchick did it. And he chaperoned
Well, that's
me.
cool. That'd be
Yeah,
fun
he
to
was the
drive with John
CEO of the
Kraftchick.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And he was a super into cars.
yeah,
so.
we talked about his catering most of the time.
Yep.
Tim, I feel like all those pictures are stretched, aren't they? Or is the whole? I'm just looking at I'm sorry, this is not applied to the podcast, but wait, unmaximize that the Wirecast thing from the window. Is it that it's maximized, that it's stretched out in a weird way? Yes, that's why. Because, right? Or not?
That looks stretchy still.
Shit. Fucking.
That looks straight.
Fucking proportions.
Like Wirecast
That
is
looks
amazing,
straight.
but it's also a
It's
nightmare.
amazing
straight.
how simple a program can sometimes just fuck up the weirdest things. Ay.
I mean, it's
Every time we load
yeah.
it, the cameras are different.
yeah.
They're like, 100% full screen. Nah, 125 is full screen.
Well, this thing can handle like 50 different cameras and it has so many different settings. So
Yeah.
if they update a piece of software on one thing, it's dominoes, man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Tony, was that you spent a lot of time in Nürburgring, or was that like one of your first times there?
I've probably lapped it maybe 8 or 9 times.
Oh, okay, cool.
A couple times.
Enough to
A few times,
enough
yeah.
to like feel like you
Enough to
kinda,
know, yeah, this is the
you got
really
the vibe.
fast, blind, terrifying section, and this
Yeah.
is the tighter section.
Yeah.
And we were doing, we were following a guy, a racer.
a Meister.
in another, in a I-30N, which is the European version of the Veloster.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a little 5-door hatch.
Here's what I actually don't get about you. Wouldn't it be better if you just had a fourth door instead of
In the Veloster?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that, who's like, oh, I want the coupe side.
I don't know, but here's the problem: is the driver's side door is real big,
Right.
So you can't park that close to stuff because the angle's all wrong.
No, it's totally silly. I don't know why, and it doesn't like necessarily look any better on one side or the other. So
No.
you're not getting like an aesthetic
I
benefit.
mean,
No.
I get it. It's like if you like coupes, but when you have two people coming with you, the person who gets in the back usually gets in behind the passenger, not the driver.
Right.
So that's who it's for.
But who
Right,
likes
but-
coupes anymore?
No, and also, who in theory, who likes coupes from their side and doesn't care about the other side?
I think a lot of people will be like, "This is my side of the car. I like this. This is what I want to look at."
well, I mean, the 2-door side doesn't look it doesn't look that different. It doesn't look that much worse.
No, and
It's
you
true.
you could solve the problem. Here's the problem: the two front doors are different lengths. That's the problem.
Right? No, I understand.
If both sides of the front had the same size door and the other side had the third door, this would be less weird than it is. Wait till you see the video. I do like a little pan across with both front doors open, and they're completely different sizes. It's so weird. It's,
yeah,
it's
No,
not right.
It's like it's the RX-8, right? But only on one side.
Yeah, but the back door doesn't clamshell. It's not a clamshell door. It's a regular tiny forward opening door.
it's not a van door.
No, it's a
It's a
small
regular
door that
door.
opens forward. It doesn't
Yeah.
clamshell.
Super
It's on the
stupid.
vehicle. No, it's dumb. It's like it's set up. It's like Uber on one side and like my personal sports car on the other.
I change
It's
everything
the
I said.
vehicular equivalent of a mullet.
I
right?
didn't see
Party
your-
on the left side,
Work on the right
family on the
side.
right
Yeah.
side.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. When I saw
That
the
is so
handle, and
strange.
I the whole time I thought it clamshelled, and then I went, oh. I was like, one of those.
So it's like a confession booth. It's like the center door is big, and then the
exactly.
constituents go in the tiny. That's so weird.
That
Why?
is- yeah, I don't get
Clamshell
it.
it.
Or make it like if it had 4 doors, it wouldn't. I don't know. Whatever. We've
Wow.
made our point. I
Okay.
think. But Nunez is like he's
Oh,
a
that's
good, he's
the
a
old
friend.
one.
He's been a friend for a while, and now he used to be a journalist, and now he works at Hyundai. I hate giving him bad news when I'm not like really about the car, but that's the gig, huh? Anyway, what else you driving, Tony?
I drove the 48 Pista.
Oh fuck me! Can you
Oh, yeah.
do it?
I drove that,
That we
like, 2
have to
months
know
ago.
about because
Yeah, that
you
was
drove
pretty
regular
spectacular.
48 before that, right?
Yeah, I've driven a regular 48. Not a lot.
That's
but
one
I've
of
driven
the
it enough.
greats, though.
Yeah. Pista is so much faster.
Like, what is the level of like 720S so much faster? How much faster?
Yeah,
Are you talking
it's like
about
that
here?
next level shit. It's like crazy fast. Like from 100 to 150, it's just insanely insanely fast.
Yeah, because 0 to 60, it's like you're,
Right, it's all traction limited, and
Yeah,
this will
you-
probably be a sub 3 second car.
Right. Well, we're talking for 0 to 60. We're now talking a game of individual tenths,
Right.
and you almost can't feel the differences at
absolutely
that
not,
point. But
no.
you can, 100 to 150. There's a lot of room to work with.
Right. Yeah.
This could still hack a second off somebody's time.
No, it feels crazy fast. There's been a weight loss in
what
the
a
car.
great color that is. The silver. Fuck, that's
Beautiful.
awesome.
And the best part of it was Ferrari, on most press launches, they throw you in with another journalist. Ferrari just gave us the keys and they were like, okay, come back for your laps at Fiorano
seriously?
at X time. Yeah. Or like meet us for lunch
Not
at noon.
the company I would expect to,
No,
to do
so
that.
great. But it was so great because you just went out and played. Like I went out into the Autostrada and played.
I wonder
haven't
if they
gotten
stole
any tickets.
like
so-
Lotus's PR guy. That's a Lotus move.
It was
Here's
great.
a car. See you at dinner.
Well, when you're in the car with somebody else, you start talking to them and you sort of get distracted and they distract you and, it's just different.
Yeah.
When you're on your own, you can think and have your own thoughts and drive the car as you want. I mean, I did so many launch control starts. If I had a passenger with me, they just would have been like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's like, when I was doing one takes, it's half about the car, but I also have to sort of interview this guy and not that they weren't all nice people, but the only reason this dude is sitting here is because he's providing
he owns
this
his car,
And
right.
so the ones where I can just freely ramble or think or do whatever I want to do to come up with, thoughts. That shit is awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
So
And,
what are the stats on this thing? I admit I
think
haven't
it's
read
either
much.
710 or 711 horsepower.
It's either
Get it right.
710 or 11?
Yeah.
710 or 11. I can't remember because it's in PS. It's like 730 PS. I can't remember if it was 710 or 711. Yeah, it weighs around 3150, somewhere in there. About
How
what a
much do they cut
720S.
What's the normal one weigh?
They cut out about 80 pounds, I want to say. They cut out like 40 on the engine. And then it's got a different aero package as well. A lot of stuff from the Challenge race car. So like the intakes are here.
He's pointing to the air intakes. Oh, wait.
They're like in the
So
tail.
instead
They
of
moved it
behind
back.
the door handles,
Yeah.
the air intakes are next to the tail lights.
Exactly.
So cool.
Which is the way it is on the Challenge race car.
Interesting.
I love that.
When Alois was showing us around the CTR yesterday, he was showing that the two like on the sort of the big hips of the car, there's a big scoop you can see, and then there's a little scoop that's hidden into the C-pillar between the window, and the air intake was actually the smaller one of the two, and it was the intercoolers that had the big one, which I was surprised. I thought it would need more room to flow more air.
more air.
Yeah, I was surprised at how small that engine intake was compared to the intercooler.
Well, that's sort
intake.
of the setup here.
Yeah,
because
that's
the
why I was
behind the
equating
door
it, yeah.
vent feeds a bigger intercooler.
Right.
And so
It
they took away
looks
the intake
badass.
and moved it back, and that allows them to have a larger intercooler.
That's so cool. So what did it drive like? Just crank
It's
up
spectacular.
crank up a 488 to.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy?
it was tons and tons of grip. The brakes are phenomenal. It's still super engaging even on the street.
Yeah.
Like it's still really fun. On the
Did you
street.
did you have a little moment where you
I
got,
did on the track.
You did?
Yeah, because
what
I
was
dialed
the
it.
prevailing handling tendency when that happened?
Massive oversteer.
Massive oversteer.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought
where the thought flashes in your head, like, oh fuck, I'm gonna become a story.
they have
Ooh.
488s have a very quick rack.
Yeah.
It is
it's like
possible to catch.
2.1, 2 turns lock to lock, and I caught it and it was fine.
Yeah.
and there was plenty of track there, but I mean,
Did
it
you
happened
just-
at a pretty high speed.
Did you go in just too hot and then
No,
you
I
came
just
off and-
accelerated too hard out of the
Oh.
really tight. There's a really tight left-hander that feeds sort of a high-speed left, coming up the back of Fiorano, and it just went into I just went in too hot.
Oh, and just
Just a bunch of oversteer,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And I had switched it to CT off, which enables this new system that's supposed to make oversteering
It's
a little
like a drift
easier
control, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
like
yeah.
that sort of uses stability control not to stop a drift, but sort of to make it more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
But it surprised me.
Well, it can probably only catch so much
of
momentum,
course,
right? Like if you're
yeah,
in a
it can't
hairpin
defy physics.
and
It's
you
not
whip.
idiot stopping software.
But it was. I mean, it wasn't oversteer. It wasn't power oversteer out of the corner. It was more like just steady throttle. I went into this one corner too fast.
It's like an art teacher. Like it can guide a good hand, but if you're terrible, it can't help you. You just if you stomp it in a hairpin, it's just like it's already out.
right.
It,
you have to have some talent. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, I nailed a couple slides in the track with a 488, and then I thought I was a hero, and then I did like a triple Lutz after that, and I was like, okay. This was at that Detroit City Airport. Remember where we did the thing with Drive
yeah.
with the
Oh,
Hellcat
yeah,
shit? Yeah, that we did Esquire Car of the
That's
Year
right.
there, and there was just no adult supervision on that gig.
Yeah, it's great.
And I was like, I'm taking the 488 out. We need to get mounted shots. Yeah, mounted shots.
You stick like one GoPro.
Yeah, strap those GoPros on. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, is it like carbon floors and all that craziness that they do?
No, it's aluminum floor because it's still 48, so the structure is still aluminum.
Oh, okay.
They're
I was trying to
they're
find
not
where they
quite to the
saved all the
McLaren.
weight, but-
Well, didn't
carbon
who-
fiber tub. I mean, it's
Oh,
all
I
the
guess
body
the
work is carbon
458
fiber.
Special did the aluminum floor. Was it not carbon
Yeah.
floor? I thought
They
were
did.
carbon.
They did that on the 458. They did it on the 430 Scuderia. You could get it without
Yeah.
a carpet, so you get like the diamond plate,
Yeah.
floor.
It was the diamond
Yeah,
plate,
totally.
right? Yeah.
I loved the car though. I thought it was spectacular. I thought it was really, really
I
fun.
bet. I mean-
and it sounded better than. It's got a new exhaust manifold, so it sounded a little better than 488.
Mm-hmm.
Still not as good as 458 or 430.
I think it's
Which
Inconel
just-
exhaust
430
too.
is
Yeah,
not my
yeah, it's an
favorite,
Inconel
but
exhaust.
I feel you.
So they said they save weight. The engine's 40 pounds lighter, no carpet, less sound deadening, a lithium-ion battery, lightweight bucket seats, Lexan window,
Right.
and hood, fenders, rear wing, and bumpers are carbon.
Wow, that's
So
real.
they saved like 200 pounds, I think.
That's
Oh, it's
that's
200
that's
yeah,
real
198
stuff.
pounds. Yeah, that's
I
a
like
lot.
that. They're gonna come out with a Spider next year. Hell yeah.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
of course they will.
Yeah.
They can sell every single
What
one
was
of these
what was the best color on the launch that you saw?
things. Red, because that's all they had.
Oh, they all
they were all red. They were all identical red. They
That's
had like
funny.
8 cars.
all fucking red. That was
does
the
look
problem
good, you
on the
know?
Mustang Bullet launch. They were all the same color, and so it was all.
Can you
know.
get a Bullet in a different color? They're all Highland green.
They
aren't
had one black one that was on display that nobody drove, and I don't know if you can get it in that color, but
in
they
that
they did have one there.
How was that car? They're moving up
It's a Mustang.
They're moving up the GT350 horsepower. What is it? 480?
Yeah, it's a lot of power. It's a
Right.
fast car. It's it's like a Mustang PP2. It's the Mustang PP2 is awesome.
Right.
Mag ride is great, and it's nice. For the money, it's great. I have a different opinion that I've said about
the Bullet.
just about the fact that we're still talking about the movie and
Right.
the Queen. I think is not a thing that matters in 2018.
There's a lot of people who engage in that hero worship, though.
I know there are, but I'm that's fine.
I'm not
They can
necessarily
do that.
one of them
They
either,
don't do
but-
that, but they can write their own fucking column about why how about that everybody else wrote
Right.
about why it's awesome and thank God we're still doing it.
Right.
And I just had to say, can we stop?
Right. When will this end?
Fucking make a new hero. Come up with a new hero. What are we doing? Who cares?
The Jack Reacher Mustang.
Pick anybody. Just come up with a new guy, make a new thing. Do
Right.
A,
I mean,
do a
that
new
was
thing.
67? Was that
Yeah,
when the movie
68.
was?
Yeah.
68.
It's 50
50
years.
years, yeah. It's a long time.
Let's go. Let's go with it.
And he's been dead for a long time. Too.
Yeah.
He's been dead for about 40 years.
Yeah, and he
35, 40
wasn't
years.
a very nice person when he was around. So,
And the movie really isn't that good.
and also the movie's not that good. Yeah,
Someone said Lamar had no script. They just like started shooting
It
stuff. And they had to like
doesn't-
edit it
yeah,
together
that's what it looks
afterwards.
like.
Yeah, that's why it's bad.
Yeah.
yeah. I have friends that are like.
I like that you guys
the mo-
don't engage in that, that nostalgic hero worship
None.
for no reason.
I have
I've
none.
always felt that way. I never liked Lamar.
Well,
and I like
no.
the chase scene in Bullet, but the movie's unwatchable.
Yeah, the movie-
I
and-
rented the movie in college because I'd never seen it, and this was freshman year, and I was so excited to rent this movie. And my
How
roommate's
long?
like, okay.
How long did you watch
Yeah.
it for?
I watched the whole
Oh, you
thing,
did?
waiting for it to get better, and I was like, "This is so slow." And then the
it's
chase
terrible.
happened; it was great, and then
Right.
it ended, and I was like, "This doesn't make sense."
Yeah.
He's just him walking down hallways looking confused. It's so bad.
I
and then
tried
Grand
so
Prix
many
sucks
times.
too.
They're all terrible.
Yeah, Grand Prix no good. Yeah.
I watched that
It's
Jalopnik
not
Film
fun.
Festival like in what was that 2013,
14 or
and I was
13.
like, we're supposed to be excited. Like we
No,
are,
it's bad.
we are
They're
scraping
bad
the barrel.
movies, Yeah, they're
Yeah.
drive-in movies almost.
Yeah.
They're like B movie quality.
Yeah.
But when you're
There's
driving,
no
you're supposed to have
script.
sex in the middle, and this is why. You skip a lot of the parts that you don't need
yeah,
to see.
you don't need to watch.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
that's why
where
they're
the
so
term
bad.
"cut to the chase" came from. I mean, it's actually used to describe the middle section of this movie.
Have you seen the chase scene that I like the most is
Strong.
in a film called The Seven Ups? You
No.
seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
chase scene?
I have.
It is phenomenal.
It
It
is?
looks like they just did it like
They
on the
fucking
public
did it.
road.
Musto
and-
showed me this. He was like, "Have you seen the 7-Ups?" I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "We'll watch
Tim,
it
can you
right now."
IMDb the 7 Ups?
yeah,
I want
they're-
to see.
I don't know if you can pull up a YouTube video.
No,
if
we
that's
can't.
allowed.
But
Yeah,
I
it's
can
not allowed.
IMDb it and see. I've never heard
The
of this
chase
before.
is on YouTube, so
But they're
watch
like
it later.
big early 70s cars, and they look like they're going fast, and they are going fast, and they're cornering. They lean
Yeah.
over when they're cornering. It's
Oh, and it's old too.
1973.
1973.
The main point is that when they're driving on the street street, like I forget what city it is, Chicago, New York, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's New York.
You just look at the number of people on the sidewalk and around, and you're like, these are not extras. No fucking way.
No.
They hired 300 people to walk up the street. They just did it.
Who's in this fucking thing?
That's the guy from Jaws, right? What's
Roy
his name?
Scheider.
Roy
Oh, wow.
Scheider.
Yeah. Okay. I love Roy Scheider. I'll fuck with Roy. Okay.
Yeah, just watch Car
add
Chase
that
later.
to the list.
Yeah, no, it's a good car chase. And
Yeah.
you can
There's
see the
some
car
really-
chase on
there's
YouTube.
great
Just
car
the car
chases.
chase, and you don't have to watch the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and like Ronin and the Transporter have awesome car chases.
Yeah, they do.
Like there's a bunch of good car chases. Bad Boys 1 and 2.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Italian Job, like they're all the old and the new Italian Job.
I still haven't seen the original Italian Job.
It's not bad. I mean,
I don't think
it's
I've seen
kind
it
of
either.
it's kind of slow, but not. It's more like early Bond slow. Not
It's slow, like because that's how movie making was.
Yeah. It's not like dead silent like Bullet. Can we real quick? So yesterday we had questions from folks who kindly donated to ask them, and I didn't want to keep Mr. Roof had to go, and I didn't want to keep him to answer questions that had nothing to do with his cars. But I promised we would get to them. Is this them?
Yeah, this is part 1 of yesterday.
Okay, you want to
Where
get down
are
on
these
this?
donations to?
They're to us. They're to us to pay the bills.
A local charity.
Charity starts at
But
home.
you know, but these are it drives interesting conversation. And,
Yeah, let's,
and I definitely don't want to leave folks who donate hanging. We are going to do more super chat stuff later in the show if you want to. So throw them up there if you want now. I think his name is Dan. Are all infotainment systems for shit? No,
No.
No, not
Which
at all.
ones do you like, Tony?
Let me think. I tend to like the FCA one, the big screen
Oh, the
FCA one.
Uconnect.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
Uconnect is
responsive.
pretty good.
It works pretty well.
I think GM's is pretty good, but not Cadillacs. Like the Chevy
Oh
one.
yeah, the
Chevy
Q,
one is
the
good.
Q one is terrible.
Yeah,
but the rest of them are good. The touchscreens work pretty well.
Tesla's is great.
Yeah, Tesla's is pretty good.
I've never had a problem with Ford. I know people had a problem with sync in my touch, but like your Raptor was fine.
No,
But it
And
would
then
just
the Prius and
crash.
F-150s
It would
were
just
fine.
crash like
That was
Windows
like-
never had
crashes.
that.
Yeah,
but,
like,
but
that was
the
Sync
system itself
1.
worked well.
Yeah, Sync 1 was buggy, but they fixed it.
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
I like the
those.
Mercedes-Benz one. I think the Mercedes-Benz one works
I don't
well.
like that one. The one
You
with the
don't like
scroll
that one?
wheel and
Yeah,
too many
I'm used to
menus.
it.
No.
Yeah, I think Mercedes
I like it.
and BMW are getting too deep with the multiple menus from the
Yeah.
one knob, and Audi handles that better because you can hit home and then just scroll through
Yes.
the menus easily.
Maybe it's just familiarity, but I
Yeah.
like the Benz one.
You
I
do?
Yeah.
Maybe
I like the
I
Benz one.
spent a week with it, but like maybe I needed to be better trained on it or something. I found it a little frustrating.
You still have to figure out because like if you're in the menu and then you hit the move the puck up like in the up direction, sometimes you think it's going to take you to like the bar at the top of the screen, but sometimes it goes to a deeper menu. Like it depends on
Right.
what you've clicked
menu,
on
what
before that,
submenu
and it's
you're
just
in,
not as
yeah.
intuitive as other stuff.
Yeah. But no, they're not all shit. Some are, but not all of them. Should Josh buy an E92 M3 competition in dual clutch or manual? Manual, because it's forever.
Oh yeah, I would definitely get the manual.
Yeah, software marches on, brother, but a manual is forever.
And that engine with the manual is something
is
special.
really, really nice.
It's really nice.
It's pretty. I mean, it's a great car to drive with the dual clutch too. As far as dual clutches go, that's a pretty good one.
He says he can't wait for the 720S video, but that went up already.
That's true. It did 2 weeks ago. Go check your timeline, son.
Set the alarm button on your subscription, and then you'll get notified.
Oh
bell,
yeah,
Josh.
we just solved this. Someone emailed or tweeted or whatever and said that the videos were showing in the wrong order, and we realized why. It was because they weren't subscribed. So if you watch a lot of the videos because you see them on our Twitter or something in the morning, but you're not actually subscribed on YouTube, you might miss one, and because you're not a subscriber, it won't actually show you those videos in order. So I recommend not. I don't give a fuck if you subscribe or not. I'm not going to like and subscribe, but like it may actually help you.
Except he's saying like and subscribe.
Yeah, I don't say that shit in the videos.
It's useful.
I don't say that shit in the videos.
I agree. The saying the shit in the videos is kind of silly because it's just
Hokey.
it gets very hokey. But if you like the stuff, it does help us if you subscribe.
What's an E90 go for these days?
It
A
depends
good
on
one, like 25 to 35.
yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on the car condition, but yeah, high 20s to middle 40s is the meat of it.
I've always loved that.
That
I mean,
engine.
they're
Yeah.
gonna be, if you buy it and hold it for a while, and it's a good one that doesn't break a lot and costs you a lot of money to keep going, you'll do good. And they're nice. They're really nice to drive.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your question. I have Joshua says I have $15,000 to buy a track car and will modify it over time. Manual and rear wheel drive. What should I get? I mean,
is the answer always Miata?
There's nothing new under the sun.
I mean, it depends
are
on
used
so many
FRSs
things.
down there?
Well,
Does that engine
could be
survive track use?
They're just slow.
Yeah, they're really.
I mean, you know, if you're a medium level driver, you can outdrive one of those cars.
Yeah.
And if you're spending 15, you don't have the money for a supercharger, so then you should get a Miata. Actually,
Right.
That's just really open
Or
ended.
a Mustang.
Mustangs and Camaro SSs can handle track work
for sure.
E46 3 Series,
Even like the '90s F bodies with the,
F bodies.
yeah.
I mean, if you don't care about rattles and shit,
And it's a track car, so why would you care?
Yeah,
I saw Mustangs with Maximum Motorsports everything for 10 to 15 grand, like fully built, ready track cars for really cheap because nobody wants them.
Yeah, I think that's a great. I mean, you know, there's nothing new. It's the obvious ones. You want something with good airflow over. Like, I wouldn't say Corvette because you start doing big power, you could have cooling issues with their radiators. But like Mustangs and Camaros have great frontal area, so you run a big radiator and a good fan, and it doesn't matter how hot it gets, they can run. You know,
Are salvage title Elises? They're not that cheap, are they? They're always around 20 grand.
If it's a salvage title, isn't that because the clamshell's usually cracked?
Well, that car is really easy to total because it's not worth that much.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can have a fender bender in them and total the car. I mean, if both clams are damaged, you have to repaint the entire car and replace the clams. But the clams aren't structural or anything.
Damaged Clams is my favorite all-female band, by the way.
Yeah, the car doesn't have bumpers, so...
Our new album, Pearl in the Sand, by the Damaged Clams.
Folds of pearl.
That's gross.
What about dedicated track things? What are Ultimas and Radicals? And stuff
they're
cost?
expensive. Wait, but if you actually, what does like a fucking Formula Ford go for?
I've always
30,
wondered.
don't they? 20, 30?
You could definitely buy an entry-level open-wheel race car.
Those have to be great to drive. Sam Smith had one.
Yeah, Larry Webster races them. Sam Smith races them.
You have to trailer it, obviously. That's the problem.
Yeah, but they're very light. Like, you could trailer one of those behind a sedan.
Oh.
You know, an open-wheel car weighs like 1,000 pounds with a trailer.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you could
it
tow
weighs
it
nothing.
behind like a small crossover, pretty much.
Just really light trailer.
And they're non-aero cars, so it's all up to you. You know, it's all just mechanical grip.
I'm very drawn to them one day.
If you're looking at a dedicated race car, I actually think 15 grand goes. Like, start looking at racing junk. Like, buy an already built race car, like with a cage and shit.
The only Formula Ford on eBay is a 0-time restoration ready to go, and it's 15.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
So
how old is it?
Starting bid.
And it looks nice. Zero time on it. Full rest. Yeah, there you
this
go.
is like brand new.
A brand new race car.
Doesn't say what year. Let's see.
So there
it's
you
a
go.
77.
There you go. A lot of people could do that.
That's a starting bid, though.
True.
Whose chassis? Is it a Van Diemen?
It's a great name for anything.
Yeah. also a good metal band. Royale.
Royale with cheese.
Indeed.
Blackbird GLI says, have I ever heard of Wookiees in the woods?
I just heard about this.
What is Wookiees in the woods?
I'm scared to Google
when
it.
I drove the R30.
Is it going to fuck up my internet history?
No. I thought that too. When I drove that R32 the other day, the guy was like, yeah, a lot of people that have these go to Wookiees in the woods. I said, what's that? It's a VR6 like meet.
Oh.
And they say because our VR6s sound like Wookiees, which I never thought of. But yeah, so it's...
Oh, there you go. Where is this place? What's the status of it? Oh, VR6 meetup.
Annual gathering of R32 and Golf R enthusiasts from all over the country at the infamous Dragon.
Oh my God.
Tales of the Dragon.
When is that?
Say it was in April?
Imagine the fucking... Oh my God.
I love
imagine
the name.
all those,
That's hilarious.
all those R32s going down Tail of the Dragon.
I don't know. You have to
One sounds good.
download the
800
schedule.
You have to download
No,
all right.
that. But
I haven't heard of it, but I'm not going to that.
No, thank you.
Who wants to go to the Dragon with 1,000 other people? I would go to the Dragon by myself.
Yeah. I would go like on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
I don't even drive my car on Sundays, bro.
No.
But I love the sense of humor of naming your car show not something serious.
Well, it's like Waterfest is, Volkswagen owners have a history of cheeky names.
True. This is, I think, this one of Waterfest for sure.
Wookiees in the Woods is funny, though. I bet a lot of people stumble on that the wrong way and have sex in the woods.
Yeah, it looks like it's in April. Google search and I'll see you
in April.
On
Honda
April.
Meet should be called like Tight Taco
on
Dinner.
April. April's his wife. See you on April. Let's see. In the burbs of Philly, I have a motorcycle but need a car for winter under 15,000 suggestions. Philly's a tough place to have a car, man. The weather's brutal and the roads are really bad. Under 15 grand for a winter car? A Forester?
Yeah. If it's just a winter beater, just get a Subaru.
The answer is
$6,000.
Yeah.
The answer
You
is
can
always
usually get manuals.
CRV or Forester or
CRV
Element.
is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to recommend a crossover to somebody, but yeah, Philly is like almost like off-roading.
That's
even because you go downtown and they got the fucking Independence bricks. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Thomas Jefferson slaves laid the fucking bricks.
And you're driving
shit.
over them.
You got to still drive on that shit. You don't.
Or get a Toyota pickup and throw your bike in the back of it.
Oh yeah, get a Tacoma. Yeah. That too. Watch out for rust on the frame. But always, yeah. The answer's always
the
Tacoma.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
will have rust, right?
Everything in Philly is fucking rusted.
Yeah.
The Liberty Bell's hanging on by a thread, bro. That's what I would do. Hayden says, should I replace my 2014 Grand Cherokee Summit with the SRT Grand Cherokee? I don't know.
I really like the Summit. I
You
drove
wanna
it
go
2 years
faster?
ago. Yeah. I thought it was super nice.
Do you like your car, but you want exactly the same car with double the horsepower?
Right. And half the
After
fuel
that,
economy.
it's just a math problem.
Right.
Can you afford it? Do you want it?
Well, gas will be
there's
cheap
so
forever.
many.
So
I didn't realize there were so many of
there are
these.
2
Fucking
pages.
hell.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, hang on.
I'd like to hear Mr. Roof answer these questions.
Right? Some of these are weird. He doesn't actually really feel very comfortable talking about anything that isn't Porsche.
Right.
That's the one thing he wasn't like super cool with. We started asking him about like what he's into, like what kind of cars he's into that aren't Porsches, and he didn't even really want to say. He might not be allowed to say actually.
That's weird.
He owns a couple of other cars, but they're all very old. It was like an XKE. Or
Oh,
sorry,
right,
E-Type
right.
and like
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
We did answer like half of these, so but I just screen grabbed all of them.
When he can't zoom in and I can't read, so can someone?
We did that one.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. One.
500 SO we did.
Yeah.
Fiesta ST.
We did that.
Oh yeah, dude. All of these are covered.
Dylan Optics.
Everything except the very last one was covered. We covered all the rest of those. What's the very last one say?
First of all, love the show. That one?
Yeah. The rest of it.
It says, I sold my 04 GTO a few years ago due to lack of parts. I'm bored and would like to get into a 996 turbo or a V8 Vantage. What are your thoughts?
Huh?
Lack of parts.
Lack of parts. Yeah. That's a weird thing, but I can understand. It's from Australia.
Yeah, they shut them down.
Yeah, when they stopped making them, maybe there was, I don't know. But he wants to get a 996 turbo or a V8 Vantage.
I think V8 Vantage with a manual because
996 turbo is pretty awesome, though.
They are.
They're
They're both pretty awesome.
996 turbo is going to be quicker.
996 turbo will be quicker. Vantage is prettier.
Right.
Vantage is certainly more interesting.
may
More-
appreciate depending on which one
British.
More British.
What's
I
cheaper
do
to
like
run?
how they sound. A V8 Vantage with the valves open sounds real nice. It's a good sounding car. I don't know. You should be able to get both of those in the mid 40s.
What about to run though?
Similar. When Freddie and Doug had that shitbox Vantage, they said it was about the same as a 911 to insure, like not crazy expensive to
Parts
insure.
are probably Porsche part costs.
I think it's similar. You never want to go to an Aston dealer, but I wouldn't bring a 996 to a Porsche dealer either. So, if it depends on where you live. Like, if there's a good Aston independent shop by you, that would be helpful. If not, but I have a soft spot for V8 Vantages. With a stick, they're fun. They sound good and they look cool, and I think that shape is going to look good.
Do you still have
That's
your
why I think-
Vanquish?
Yeah.
You still have it?
Yeah. It's awesome. It's running good, man. That thing is, some little expensive, stupid things have broken, but most of it's real stout.
Right. It always starts.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I've never had a mechanical issue of any kind with it. Battery died a couple of times, which is a massive pain in the dick. They got to take the rear seat out. So fucking get the battery out. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a disaster. It's a disaster. You don't want the battery to die.
Packaging. That's
They
amazing.
just sent me actually for the first time. They issued a new battery tender cable because it has like a proprietary tender that you plug in that almost looks exactly like an XLR cable.
Oh, that's funny.
And it just goes into the trunk. And they sent a new one. I guess I don't know.
They refurbed it or something?
I don't know. Someone's car probably caught on
Caught on
fire.
fire.
Or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Have you driven the new Vantage, Tony?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
We had one in Michigan last week, but I didn't get behind the wheel of it. I didn't drive it. Had a check engine light on most of the time it was there.
Oh, I had a check engine light come on the Bullet 20 miles after it started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was like serial number 4. Like
Right.
it's probably had the roughest 3,000
yeah.
miles any car could have. Have you ever had a car just like disastrously fail on you? Like
Disastrously.
Maybe
fail? I
due-
lost.
due to abuse?
I mean, at Lightning Lap at VIR. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when the C7 was new, the engine expired on a Corvette.
Whoa.
And the engine expired on our long-term Corvette too.
oh really?
Yeah, it just died. And the
Those-
GM guys
those-
that were there were like, oh, I don't know
Those
what happened.
2014 LT engines, a couple of them. I had a friend who had one that go boom and like 2,000 miles on it.
Yeah,
The
we
game-
had two. And I thought maybe I ran out of gas. It was like that. Nothing went bang.
It just stopped.
It just stopped, yeah. And then I just rolled. I was on the straight, so I just rolled into the.
Did it
into
leave
the
a
pits.
trail of oil behind it?
No, nothing. The car just sort of
That's
had a
so strange.
meltdown, and then it just stopped, and then it wouldn't restart, and then all the computers were like, "No,
That's
we're
not
not
good.
having it."
Huh.
Just give it Paxil. It'll probably be fine.
Do you think they've solved that issue?
I mean, I haven't heard any other problems, and we were running a Grand Sport,
Yeah.
long termer.
I
and
love
it's
the
fine.
Grand Sport.
Oh yeah,
Grand Sport is so nice. I did ZR1 and Grand Sport, together at Road Atlanta, and the ZR you've got to go
Yeah,
on
yeah,
ZR1,
yeah.
right? It's so crazy.
No, I drove ZR1 at VIR. At
It's
Lightning
so
Lap.
crazy.
No, it's insanely fast.
And after you drive ZR1, the Grand Sport is like a Miata. It's
Right.
It's so easy and so nice, and you feel like you could do like massive slides that you're not going to get caught out. The
Right.
Grand Sport was so balanced after the ZR1.
Well, yeah, it's like taking the weighted bat. When you have
Yeah.
a weighted bat in the
Yeah.
on-deck circle.
ZR1 scared me a little bit. It's a fucking hairy bitch, that car.
It was fast. The old, I think, Ford at VIR on the configuration we ran ran like a 138 something or 139. The old record before that was like a 140 in the Viper ACR.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what the times were, but we had 3 cars this year that were under under 240.
Well,
Sorry.
that's crazy. 3.
Wow.
One is the ZR1 for sure because they were saying on the press launch that they tested. They were doing development testing.
Mero currently has the record there.
Yeah. So he
did a
broke it by accident.
30. What did he do? I think he did a 37.2 or 3.
Yeah, and he did it mid stint. He didn't do it on a fresh set of tires. They were doing
Are
it.
you sure?
Well, either that or we were lied to or deceived.
Because the lap that I saw that he did was done in the winter when
At
it
the
was
press
nice
launch-
and cold there.
at the-
I don't think it was at the press launch.
No. At the press launch, we were told a story.
Oh, okay.
That they went and to do a 24-hour durability test at VIR to run the car for 24 hours, and during that test,
That's when he
that
got
was
it?
when it was set. So maybe they changed tires, and it was the fucking first lap after a set of tires.
he
or-
might have beaten the Ford GT record, but I think the current record.
Oh, maybe. Oh, that could have been true. Maybe he beat himself
exactly.
again. Okay.
Yeah, and then he beat himself again.
Yeah.
And they're smart. I mean, we're dumb. We go in like at the end of May when it's like 80 degrees, 90
Yeah.
degrees there. They're smart. They go like in November, December when it's like 40 degrees there.
Yeah.
So he was pulling around 8 to 10 miles an hour more than me on the straights.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was I mean, the car is so fast.
Yeah.
It's
and
so good, though.
You need that. You need to be him to get that 8 or 9 miles an hour. You know what I mean? No offense. Like me too.
No,
Like,
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
No.
You just.
I mean, I worked with him. Like he's there at the track, and he's like,
So do you
yeah,
just-
in
you
these
just need-
temperatures,
you just need-
It's
oh.
not going to go as fast on the straight.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, so
It wasn't. No, it wasn't that.
It wasn't bravery.
No,
Okay.
I wasn't. I mean, I'm usually Like in Z06 and in Grand Sport, I was like 1.6, 1.7 seconds slower than him on a 247.
Oh, that's stout. Yeah,
lap.
that's very good.
And then in Z06, I was like 2 seconds or 1.9 seconds slower. So there's usually like
good.
There's around a 2 second delta between me and him. But
that's good.
Some of that's weather. But I'm also probably like 200 pounds lighter than him.
Oh yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, I forgot he's a big dude. Yeah, for me. The last bit is the bravery bit that I don't have.
Yeah.
In ZR1 especially, it'd be different in a 720 or in a 4GT. It just has a more stable feel to me than a front engine rear with big wing type.
It's also
layout.
way better visibility in the mid engine too. I mean,
just a more of a planted feel, and the Porsches as well. Actually, I think have a more planted feel, like in the really, really fast, across the kink at Road Atlanta, or the very fast, the
uphill S's,
the left at the top of the S's. That's
terrifying.
Yeah, I don't have the last bit.
Well,
there.
he turns the wheel. He goes into the uphill S's at around 100. High 140s or low 150s, and he makes the first right at like 146 or so, and he turns the wheel 56 degrees. 56 degrees is a lot of wheel.
I was turning it,
and he was like, "Yeah, just throw it into the grass. Like drop 2 in the grass, it'll take it."
That's fucking crazy.
But he's a madman. My brain wouldn't allow me to do it.
No, I run into the mental wall.
And I was like, the most I think I turned was like 32 degrees around at the same place, and I was going like 8 miles an hour slower.
Yeah.
I wasn't going nearly as fast.
So he's scrubbing with the front to make that turn.
He's just fearless. I mean, the man is just amazing.
There's people that have that shit.
And
Lee is like that too. Lee doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Lee Keen.
Well, I mean, he drives race cars all the time. So you get into a street car, and they all feel like how the Grand Sport felt to you. Like they're really unthreatening. And
Lee has a video when he raced at VIR with WeatherTech, I think years ago. And he came into the S's weird and hit a curb and did a wheelie. And he does wheelie.
A huge wheelie.
I think
he only lost like 4 tenths.
Somebody got a still of it. And it's amazing.
I think I've seen that. I think he posted it on his Instagram or something.
Can you, Tim,
ago.
Google like Porsche Cup car wheelie, and I think you'll get it. It's crazy.
But the bigger thing to me was that he only lost a few tenths. Like he had that moment that would terrify me, and I'd go into the pit, and he just sets down. And that's your job. You're a race car driver.
I can't believe I have to say this, Tim, but wheelie is spelled I-E.
Yeah, I strapped.
This show really brings out Tim's spelling ability. There it is, bottom left. Bottom left. There it is.
Yeah, I put a. That's amazing.
It's fucking nuts.
Eat your heart out, demon.
Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. That's big air.
He's lucky it didn't flip over.
Yeah, right.
I strapped.
Okay, wait. So let me guess. Faster than the ZR1s or faster than the 4GT's record at Lightning Lap is going to be ZR1, 720, and GT2 RS.
Those are fast cars. Yes.
That's my guess. Those are my guesses based on the current crop. Can you tell us what cars are there?
We had a 4GT, which
was it the black and orange one again?
I don't remember what color. I think it was gray.
Oh,
it was the same car that we had back in. I think we tested it in November. And it was quite a bit slower in the heat. Like it lost a ton of power in the heat. So the time wasn't super impressive.
I like how that car drives. I think people are not fair to that car in terms of how it drives. It drives really good.
The engine's kind of a bummer to me. I don't really love having a pickup truck engine in my supercars.
It's not a fizzy engine.
Yeah, no.
But it's a fizzy car.
Oh, it's amazing. The car's spectacular.
The amount of, I don't know about lap times, but the amount of speed I got from Newcomb's Ranch to the Shell station at a pace and an average speed that I didn't think was possible in a car.
Yeah.
I got a run and nobody was in front of me,
amazing.
And I got a real run, and I looked at my watch and I went, did that really just happen?
How did I do that?
It was. I'll tell you off the show. I'm not going to cop to it, but it was unbelievable.
That's awesome.
The pace I carried down ACH.
Yeah.
I've never driven like that. It was even faster than the 720 or the NSX, which were both my other two.
Right.
Really, total fast nutter
times.
For road cars. I think those are the 3 fastest cars you could drive on the street right now. If you've got something better, you let me know. I'll go find that shit. But
Have you driven GT2 RS?
no, not yet. You have?
Yeah, I drove it a little bit.
Can you-
I didn't drive it for time, but I drove it a little bit.
What's it like?
It's really, 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 really fast.
Really crazy?
Yeah.
Easy,
it's awesome,
though?
but no, it won't bite you. It's not brutal. It puts the power down really well. The Corvette put the power down really well too. You could just, I mean, that's what Mara was saying. He was like, get on throttle sooner. Go watt.
Yeah, because that PTM thing does a really good job. If you would you just leave it in 5?
No, it was all off.
Really?
Yeah,
And it still put power down?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's got tons of grip. I mean, on fresh
Yeah, but it has
tires.
750 pounds of torque. There's only there's tons of grip, and then there's 700,
it was
750 pounds of torque
It was
grip.
impressive. I mean,
That's
I
crazy.
was shocked at how well it put the power down with that much power.
That car was so fast.
Yeah,
it
that
was
car's
way
great.
faster than me. Okay, so GT2 RS is there, Corvette's there,
720,
720.
Ford GT,
Mm-hmm.
Lamborghini Huracan Performante.
Good crop.
Yeah,
That's a strong issue.
AMG GTR.
Well, yeah,
assume?
last year we were waiting on a few of these cars and the timing just
Yeah.
wasn't right, and so this year sort of just hit with
Yeah.
a lot of fast stuff.
Did anything surprise you, or was there anything you enjoyed that was like an underdog?
There's no underdogs on that list. Everything there's like
No,
300
but there was
grand.
usually- how many cars were there?
Well, like 20.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And I drove 4 for time. I drove the ZR1. I drove the Cayman. What is the latest?
GTS?
Yeah, the GTS.
Nice car. I had one for a week. I enjoyed it.
The Lambo, and then I drove a RS5.
Oh, how's that? The new RS5?
It's not a great track car.
It
It's
never
a fun
was. It
street
never
car.
was.
It's a super fun street car.
Yeah.
And that active diff sort of tries to kill you on the track once the tires get a little hot.
Yeah, we had
It's just a bunch of oversteer. But I mean, that stuff works great on the street.
Yeah.
On the track, it just doesn't work that well. And then the tires didn't have a ton of grip. It just doesn't have that much grip.
Was there a TTRS as well?
There was a TTRS, which was quicker
TTRSs
than
are
the
pretty
RS5.
badass.
I didn't drive that for time though.
Dude, I tested one of them at Spring Mountain, and it was really, really fun. Like it's way more fun than anyone would ever publicly give it credit for. Like
Right.
it was like it felt like a tarmac rally car.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And that engine sounds special.
Yeah.
I mean, like love it or leave it, but I mean, it sounds different.
No, it sounds
cool.
real cool, and it has a bunch of grip, and it turns in really hard, and it's got a ton of brakes. It was fucking fast.
Yeah, no, it's a good
Was it the
car,
fastest
and
car?
not super hard to
Yeah.
drive either.
Yeah.
You can extract the performance.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah, and on the street too. You can
Yeah,
get
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
out of it on the
You can
street. It pulls out of a corner really hard. So what else was on that list?
What else do we have?
Were
We
there
did an
any-
Accord. We did an Accord 2-liter manual.
Just for
Just
shits
for
and
fun.
giggles?
I mean, because readers are always like, well, what does a regular sedan do?
Right.
And so they wanted to know, and it turned out to be a little bit quicker than a Miata.
That's the horsepower.
But it really goes through its brakes in a hurry. I mean,
I bet.
you have like one lap.
Yeah, that makes
Or
sense.
one braking from a straightaway.
Yeah.
and
then you're just
mush.
babying. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Then you're just babying the brakes after
What
that.
other like new sports cars are there that are worth driving? I mean,
I
that you had
drove.
on there?
Well, not at Lightning Lap, but I drove in Germany at the Nürburgring, but not the Nordschleife on the
Oh,
F1
the F1 track?
Yeah, I drove the GT3 RS,
Oh,
which was
terrible.
Spectacular.
the point two.
Yes, yeah, the 520 horsepower
the-
version
with
of
the
500
Weissach?
horsepower. Yes, with Weissach package and everything. And we had like 9 laps of the F1 track, maybe 10 laps of the F1 track. It was spectacular. It was so much fun.
Was it the frog green one by chance?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, lizard green. They're
We
actually
had
called,
that
even though the
for
car
sure,
totally
too.
looks
That's
like a
fucking
frog.
sexy. Look at that. Was it cranked up that much from the? I drove the 99, the last one, the 9911, which is lovely car.
Yeah, and you get the turbo body with
Yeah.
the RS, so you get the 325s in front. I mean 325s in back, and the 295 or 285 or something in front. I can't remember what the front tire. Maybe it's a 265 in front.
It's like I drove it to go get gas for Spinelli because we had that car on a shoot, and it was like even on smooth French roads, it was loud and you move around a lot and you're.
I didn't see on the press launch. They didn't let us drive it on the street.
Yeah, you
It was
really
all-
noticed.
Someone
you know.
thought
It was
about that
all
shit.
track.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's definitely a phenomenal car, but it was a huge change.
Right, it's a race car.
Yeah.
I'm considering like buying an older RS, as a everyday car.
Like a 997?
Yeah,
That
like
would be
next
awesome.
year, and people keep trying to talk me out of it. Like,
Why?
I fucking hate it because they say it's too stiff. They say I'm gonna hate it.
Oh.
It's real stiff. I mean, if you didn't
I don't-
like the Focus, is like, I mean,
It's a different kind of stiff. Focus is bouncy.
okay, that is different. But
This-
the difference, I guess, is the Focus bounces. In this, you will bounce.
The titties bounce.
The titties will bounce. Yeah.
We'll see. My definition of daily driver is now proven is about 4,000 miles a year.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
You know, if you can make it work.
Do you still have your SL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, because my girl now, Hannah, works in San Francisco, so she flies up there. So she has a car up there, so the SL is now her LA car.
Oh, okay.
But it's fucking great, dude. It's such a nice car to sit in traffic in.
Oh, it's a spectacular
comfortable.
car. A friend of mine's father,
great.
when I was in high school, a friend of mine's father bought one in 91.
Yeah.
And he still has it. It has
Really?
181,000 miles on it.
I bet it runs like a top.
I drove it a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's a little tired. It's a little soggy. But the reason I'm telling you this is I sent my friend a Bring a Trailer listing of a 90 SL, same color combo with 16,000 miles.
Oh, yeah.
And my friend's dad bought it.
To replace his?
No, just to have.
Just to have another one?
Just to have another
awesome.
Because, I mean, it's like his backup.
There's a story there.
Yeah,
with
I agree.
A brand new condition one and a tired one. There's definitely a story there.
So I happened to be up in San Francisco, and so I called Camisa, and I said, this car's over in Burlingame. Let's go look at it. And Camisa's owned an R129. He was like, this thing's like brand new. Like it had a few plastic pieces that had dried out, but otherwise it was like perfect. And he just got the car last week, and he's already like, I need to do a xenon swap because the headlights are garbage on the early ones.
What did it go for?
He paid, well, it only went up to 15 on Bring a Trailer. And so he called the dealer after. The dealer wanted 30.
The dealer was fucking dreaming.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, no way.
I think he paid around 27 for it.
How?
And that's right.
It's low miles, but
and it's a museum car. I mean, it's perfect. Everything
it's top
on
of the market,
perfect.
but it's very low.
It
miles.
is, and I looked at the Haggerty price guide, and if the Concours #1 condition, which is this car, is 26,900.
There you go. So it's right on.
right in there.
Yeah.
And I think there's still some room for appreciation. It's a first-year car. So it has, the different seats or the different steering wheel.
The old stuff.
Yeah, the really old Benz stuff, which I think is kind of cool.
I looked at a couple of those cars. I decided I didn't like the old
people.
stuff.
Well, people that use them as dailies tend to like the single overhead cam engine. They like the later
I like
ones.
the torque and the 5-speed transmission.
Right, it's got the 5-speed.
Yeah, it's fucking nice. And this dude, oh man, what's his fucking name? His dad, Werner, and his, I think it was Devin. Jesus Christ, I think it's Devin. Came up with like a floor mat company, and they sent me these like Coogee style floor mats for it. It's so Biggie Smalls now. This car, it's really funny. It's real funny.
How's the 911 build?
Did you see the seats?
Yeah, I did. And the door panel.
Did we show those pictures on the show yesterday? The seats? I think it came in right after the show.
Oh, it's so awesome,
dude. The seats came out so good. Lee called me laughing. And goes,
oh, it goes great with the bolster.
Yeah, you go. You're not gonna believe how these things look.
It worked.
It really works so good. I'm super excited about the seats.
Because that's bus fabric. That's like public transportation fabric, right?
Yeah. It's UV resistant. It's spill resistant. Stain resistant. And,
you can pee on it.
Yeah,
no
I can fuck in there. It's gonna be really. It's gonna be really nice. So I'm going to get them fitted when I go down to Atlanta next Thursday.
Oh, that's
Lee keeps
so
saying
awesome.
every day is a new fun picture. So it's very satisfying to know work is being done by somebody. Not
and you
me.
had the engine rebuilt, right?
Yeah,
out
PBI.
here, right?
PBI did it. Yeah, it's healthy now. It's making like 220 at the wheels.
Ooh,
yeah, it's stout.
Really
it's a 3.2.
It's a 3.2. Yeah,
and they put a quaif in it, so it's ready to go. Yeah,
sweet.
It's got a proper.
And you have a
Good.
G50 car, right?
Yeah. So and it's got it with a Wevo. Short shifter, and a SSI exhaust and Dansk muffler. That's significant because I retain heat.
Okay.
I have no cats, but with heat, which is apparently a challenge. Usually, if you delete cats, you also lose heat.
Yeah, right. Because it just has it just blows hot air into the car from the engine. Yeah, and it smells amazing.
It smells really
Every
good.
time I turn the heater on in mine, I'm like,
It smells really good.
So good.
And
then you come out of the car smelling like that too.
Yeah, so we fixed that. So that doesn't happen. But I know I'm excited. It's not going to be there, but Lee is going to bring, if anyone's listening, Grid Life Road Atlanta next weekend, the 24th, 5th, and 6th. Radwood is the 25th, and Lee's bringing out 2 other Safari cars like mine, but not mine, and I'll be there as well.
You repainted it in Cassis?
Yeah, you have to because they seam weld it.
Oh,
the whole car is seam welded.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So you'll have a nice structurally
It's
rigid
so
machine.
tough. We were talking about this the other day, because you can drive it off-road and it doesn't rattle.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really, it's
I didn't
one
realize
of the most
he did
special
that.
things. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Does he
So
not
he
normally
strips
do a
it down
diff?
completely.
Huh?
Does he not normally do a quaif diff? Is that an option type thing? Like, because it comes with LSD stock.
My car came with a LSD. Excuse me. And depends on the condition of the car. If the LSD, BBI was pretty much like, look, your LSD is fine, but like if you start mobbing off-road,
Yep.
you're gonna. So he said we can replace it with a stock one, or we can for an extra $200 get the quaif. I said just get the fucking
For
quaif.
sure.
Oh,
yeah.
While you're in there.
Yeah, I had a lot of while you're in there. My car, like I bought it and I was just dailying it. It didn't need a thing. Like it was
Right.
fine, but I was like, I don't want to pull this motor out again. So there's a
Right,
lot of
right.
while you're in there.
That's cool.
yeah.
But
I'm-
you're going to abuse it and play with it and have fun
I'm
with it. So
fucking
you
romp
don't
it.
wanna
It's
have
gonna
to
be
think about it.
great. No, it's gonna be great. And the car, and it's a solid car.
I
I'm
had
very
the rear suspension. So I drove, I think last year I talked about it on the podcast. I drove the Museum 993. And
The
it
perfect
just,
one?
Yeah, it just ruined my car. And so I had
Wait, yeah, you have a
every
95,
bit,
right?
I have a 95,
It's
yeah.
silver. It's very nice.
Right. And it's a
Yeah.
low miles car, but I mean, you start pushing it and
Mm-hmm.
it's got this weird little squirm/bounce. And years ago, I did new dampers and that didn't solve it. So I had all the bushings done and all the rear links done because they don't press out
Yeah.
in the rear. And it's a sweetheart. Like
Now
the
it's good.
steering,
Now you're
yeah,
good.
now it's good.
Yeah.
But it cost a small fortune, as you
Yeah.
would imagine.
I'm gonna have to do all the bushings in the Lexus for the third time.
The
As soon
third
as it comes
time?
back, yeah.
What was it making noise?
Yeah,
Or is it
it's
just
sloppy.
like at-limit handling?
It's like I don't know what it's like. I'm smart enough to go nowhere near the limit.
The same bushings for the third time? Like,
Nah, it's like
Okay.
it's a bunch of different shit.
I loved
I was gonna
the
say.
photo, the toll booth photo or whatever it was. That was amazing.
It's just got my name on it. It's retired. And
The
no hiding.
website. Yeah.
I was driving that car once. There it is. Look at that shit.
I love that. That is so great. There's no hiding.
I was driving that car in Temescal Canyon Park that has a fucking camera on a stop sign. If you roll through the stop sign, you get a $100 ticket. And it said the smoking tire, the whole thing on the back. And I got a ticket. I rolled through it. I got a ticket. And I went to fight it in their court. And I tried to say that I lent the car out. and
Right,
it
of
wasn't
course.
me. And they go, well, it doesn't matter if it was you. You're the registered owner.
What?
And he said,
But
yeah.
it's not a moving violation that you did.
It doesn't matter. It's and then I tried to argue that it was an automated stop sign enforcement, which is illegal to have in California. You can't have that because there's a camera on a stop sign.
Right.
To which they retorted isn't the right word. To which they replied, it is not automated. There is an officer sitting there watching that feed 12 hours a day.
Oh my God.
And then
That is the worst job.
and
What
th-
did he do to get that
Yeah.
job?
I don't know, but that's when I realized he was the guy sitting here who was about to testify
Right,
against
that he
me.
saw you
He was
do
like
it, yeah.
350 pounds, and I was just like, that guy's life is terrible. And so,
Well, when he got the job, he was 150 pounds.
yeah, right. And so, because I attempted to make an argument, they knocked the fine down in half. But now,
So it was $50.
yeah, but now my SL doesn't have license plates on it because fuck license plates. So now I just cruise on through and fucking hand out the window like
Yeah,
this.
I had a buddy who had a Grand Cherokee, and he got the car, and it just had like the dealer advertisement on it.
Yeah.
And then I see him like every 6 months or so, and 3 years go by, and it's the end of the lease, and I was like, "What happened to your plates?" And he was like, "Oh, I didn't get any plates."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure he got plates.
We're
but-
about to. I'm about to return Hannah's leased Volvo in December, having never put plates
Right.
on it.
I mean, as long as the car looks new and cleanish.
Yeah, here's
it's
a
just,
secret.
because there's so many new cars in LA.
Here's a secret: bright red. The Volvo Mercedes bright fucking red. If you have that color and keep it clean, car could be 6 years old. It'll look
right.
brand new.
Right.
it's
If your
fascinating.
car looks, if you keep your car really clean anyway, you don't need license plates.
No, because they'll just assume it's new.
Yeah.
And if you like, it was great because he had, I can't remember what
Such
dealer.
a great system.
Like
we have
what
in this
dealer
state.
group it was, but he just had like the the license plate.
Yeah.
And he's not a fast driver or anything. But
No.
it's just like, yeah, I'm just not going to put it on.
If you're in LA, it's really easy to not get pulled over.
Yeah. I mean,
have
all
to
the police officers
I
have
think
a
that's,
lot better
that's the
things
asterisk
to do.
we need to add is like if you start getting pulled over, that won't matter because they can look
yeah.
up how long you've owned it and when the
Yeah,
Here's
then it
why-
becomes a
here's why.
problem.
If the car's clean, and you keep the plate in the car. That's the key, right? If the car's really clean, it's got the thing on it. You go, oh, I'm trying to sell it. It's the dealer tag. You know,
right, I just took photos.
I was doing photos. I forgot to put it back on. You got a screwdriver? I'll do it right now. Right. You know what I mean? You always ask him for a screwdriver. You got a screwdriver? Do it right now. Be helpful. LA is great. Oh shit! It's 2:15, isn't it? What time do we start the show? We've done an hour and 15.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I got to leave at 2:45 to get a kitten.
Kitty cat.
I want to get a kitten. So we got some questions from people. We'll continue some of these. A 350Z, Rutger says. What a great name. Is that your real name, Rutger Auto?
Rutger Auto.
Hell yeah. 350Z, FBO, bro. Full bolt-on. I want to supercharge. Do you think it'd be worth it to build the engine for added security? I'm an engineer, so I'll build it myself. I actually think no. I'm going to go with no.
Well, it depends how much boost he's going to blow into it.
Yeah, remember the drift car?
Yep.
I'll go back to that. It was a 350Z. You know Naoki Kobayashi Drift 101?
No.
He operates a drift school at Willow Springs, and he's got a 350Z that's it's got a welded diff and a cage and a stock, you know, the VQ 35, whatever it was, with an HKS centrifugal supercharger and a big intercooler on it. And he teaches people to drift in the middle of the desert at low speed in this car.
Amazing.
And he says it is never broken. That's good enough for me, bro.
Yeah.
So I would look into that, and I don't think you do. And I think building the engine would cost a lot of money, whereas if you just blow it up, you can get another one.
He's saying €10.
I mean, just manage.
Yeah.
You know,
He's from Europe.
I think just manage the heat, because I've seen wasn't it Brianna, Lynch, the stunt driver chick? She had a 350Z drift car, Sarah's car, old car, for
Sarah's
like years.
old car. Yeah.
And then she just got a new 350Z drift car that she was gonna like build, and blew the engine in like 3 sessions. So it's
Really?
so the red car lasted 2 years of track use from her and more from Sarah, and then her new one just blew apart. So it seems like you might just get a bad luck of the draw.
They were both 350s?
Both 350s. Different years probably.
Maybe if he's had this one since new, then he'll know the history of it, and it might be a better option. Or if he's had it for a long time.
Yeah, just don't overboost it. Don't try to make the most power on the internet, because you won't.
No, like 300 to 330 wheel in one of those is
So
a
fun.
shitload
Yeah.
with the right set of shocks and brakes.
Yeah.
That's a car that I'd like to short shift, just because the engine sound is so horrible.
It's not good.
It sounds good outside the car.
No, it
Just
doesn't.
inside the car. I don't mind.
I don't like them
I
either
drove
way.
one that had one of the single exhaust conversions. It was like a titanium single exhaust, and it was a drastic improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even inside? Because
Yes.
inside, it's like you're grinding coffee.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not my favorite engine.
That
No.
car is like going to be one of the new 240s, because they're really, really cheap, and they have 300 horsepower.
Yeah, it was fun for drift school.
Super
I really
fun.
enjoyed it. Wiley, thanks for the. Oh, hey, listen to the podcast from Tractors in the Field. Well, welcome to the live show, sir. Best big old caddy for a highway cruiser. Oh, dude, how old do we want to go?
Right. Yeah.
The bigger the fins, the better.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Do you want AC or not?
Yeah,
you know?
peak at 59, and that's it.
Some
really,
of the
right?
I still like the 60s designs a lot.
What's
Big
Vinny
healthy.
have? A 66? I think Vinny has a 66 Eldo coupe on bags that is fire.
Oh, that's
Those are
probably
so good looking.
gorgeous.
It is.
And I'll throw
Where you
in,
find
it's not a caddy, but I'll throw in a 56 Continental Mark II, which prices have mellowed on.
That's a cool car.
That's a fucking cool
That
car.
was more than like a 300 SL in 56.
They were so expensive.
expensive.
There you go, 66 Eldorado. That's a good one.
We filmed like a 58 Chrysler in Big Muscle once that the inside was like a jewelry shop, and no one cared about him because it's not a Cadillac, it's not whatever.
Yeah.
And that was gorgeous.
My dad had a 76 Eldorado convertible.
Is that the front drive one?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, with the 500, with the 8.2 liter that made all of, I think with fuel injection, which he had, it made 210 or 205
and like
horsepower.
600 pounds of torque.
And the carbureted one made 190. It's an 8.2 liter.
Disaster. What a disaster.
So I have a soft spot for those.
I
the
can
last
understand
of those.
why you would. I'll be objective. Not a good car.
No, not a good car. No. Agreed.
For old caddies, big fins. Get yourself some fins. That's it. Jake wants to know, I'm building a rear-wheel drive conversion 99 Impreza Outback with a closed-deck D-stroked EJ257 with a 10,000 RPM red line.
That's not a question.
Wanting thoughts and opinions. Thoughts. Good fucking luck. Closed deck. Okay, I mean that sounds really cool.
I'd like to hear it.
I'd like to hear what that sounds
That would
like.
sound pretty cool.
What are you gonna do with that? I mean, how far do you have to de-stroke an engine to make it spin to 10,000? That's be fucking real crazy.
Well, I mean, he's gonna have to upgrade the heads quite a bit too.
Yeah, you need
just to survive and to breathe at 10,000.
Yeah, who builds a head that will survive that?
I don't know.
It'll cost you. You can do it.
I mean, maybe ProDrive. I don't even think the ProDrive Subaru rally cars rev that high.
They're little turbos. They're big torque.
Right,
they don't. I mean, I doubt they spend much time above $5,000. I don't. Okay.
I hope you can. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd sound amazing.
Follow up in the free chat with more details. I'll have Tim go check that out. What is the correct driving position for someone who is 5'6", drives in flip-flops, sometimes shoes, and drives both an auto manual cars? Okay. All right, here's the driving position. Anyone else want to do it? You want to do it?
The crook of the arm and all that shit? Yeah.
This.
Yeah, you want to be able to get your wrist over the top of the wheel. And then when you have your hands at 9 and 3, you want to have like a little bend to it, 45 or a little bit less, so that you can actually move the wheel, 270 degrees without banging into your seats.
Right. So,
but it depends on like how long are your legs versus your torso, how long are your arms versus your legs. The angle of your seat, I feel like, is determined by your reach, and then your legs kind of come after that.
Right.
Yeah, most people who are not used to performance driving sit too far leaned back and not straight up enough. So I would ask yourself, are you sitting straight up enough to be able to do this, spin the wheel back and forth really quickly without wearing yourself out or feeling like it's an odd angle? And then you just drape your wrists over the top of the steering wheel, and you should be sitting in a position where the wheel hits you right about in the wrists. And
your shoulders are still on the seat.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Sort of a more relaxed position. Where I sit closer than you'd think. A lot of people who I know who are racing drivers sit close. Chris Harris sits so close to the wheel.
Close.
Yeah.
He also has tiny little baby legs.
He does. But I always find like some seats I can sit really close, and then other ones my elbows seem to hit the bolsters sooner, like depending on how deep those are, and that can get in the way of stuff. But
yeah, my legs are long relative to my arms. So I need to have a telescoping wheel usually to be comfortable.
Yeah,
otherwise, I can't get comfortable.
I sit like far away from the dash and then bring the wheel
yeah,
to me.
as far as out as I can.
That's usually how I go, yeah.
Because my legs are longer. And the new Miata has a telescoping wheel.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, it's got
very
the
cute.
new 7,500 RPM red line too.
Did you have that
Yeah, I
engine?
tested it.
Is it lovely?
It's very nice. It's not a night and day thing.
Okay.
It's not a radically different thing. It was a little bit quicker to 60, but a lot of that was you just don't have to shift twice to get to 60 now.
Oh,
it does
because the red
60 in
line's higher.
second. Yeah. So,
was it 27 more horsepower or something like that? 20?
26.
26?
Yeah. And it was fractionally quicker. It was it wasn't that much faster in the quarter. It's not a night and day thing.
So you shouldn't sell your 16 to
I
buy.
wouldn't think so, no. But I mean, but what reminded me was the telescoping wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
important.
very good.
That's the reason I can't drive an S2000. Fucking non-adjusting wheel stinks.
And flip-flops, take them off. Go barefoot.
I like driving flip-flops because they're wider, so it's easier to heel toe on the side of my foot.
If I'm walking around in flip-flops, I kick them off and go barefoot.
Yeah, I often do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much always in flip-flops.
Yeah, but I adjust my seat position based on what shoes I'm driving. I'll like an inch either way sometimes. If I'm barefoot, I'll go a little closer. If I'm wearing shoes, a little further back.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And if it's on automatic, just gangster lean and
Yeah, here's automatic. Automatic. You drive with your left hand at 3 o'clock.
You do the complete
And
opposite.
then with your right hand, you put a blunt in your mouth. Let's see. What Camaro to daily? Which Camaro should I'm sorry, this is worded weird. What Camaro should he buy? SS1 or 1LE?
SS1
Oh,
Alpha.
different chassis. Alpha chassis. Is the Zeta chassis the old
Zeta
one?
versus Alpha.
Zeta's the old one, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so 1LE 2015 or SS1 2016, the new car.
Right.
Because other things are better too. Infotainment's better, the seats are better,
Yeah.
other things are better. Yes, it does make a difference.
Wait, when is Zeta chassis? Is that
It's the old car, the 15 and before
Right.
versus the 16 and up.
It's like
Yeah.
09 to 15.
Oh, yeah.
You want the new car.
Yeah.
Definitely want the new car.
And they started messing with electronic steering in like 2012, I think I was reading, and it was, they were still figuring it out.
But a Zeta 1LE is awfully nice.
It is awfully
That's a
nice
car.
But if you've got the money for the newer car,
Yeah.
it feels like a newer car.
And the SS1 is probably going to outperform the old 1LE anyway.
Yeah, the SS1 would outperform the Z28, didn't it? Or was that the SS2? I think it did.
The SS1LE? The SS1L... Wait, hang on. Let me think.
I think you're right. When the new SS1 LE came out, it
Yeah.
outperformed
The Z28.
The Z28, which was like, whoa, that's how good Alpha is and all the other changes.
Yeah, it was a difference. I remember we had that Camaro SS press car, and I was like, the blue one. I was like, holy shit, this thing is fast.
Yes.
It was really fast.
Yeah.
Noticeably faster than the
Front
older
grip was
car.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's a fun car.
Yeah, they are good, yeah. If you fit in it. If you're too big, it's going to be bad. Let's see. Oh, someone's going to be at Road Atlanta for Radwood. Again, the 24th, 5th, and 6th, Road Atlanta, Radwood X Grid Life. It's going to be awesome. There's a ton of shit to do. Someone says, I've never been to one of these events. Tips, best things to do, general advice? Zach, what do you think? He came to Grid Life.
Walk around. Like,
Wear comfy shoes.
Wear comfy shoes.
Deep
wear a
woods
hat.
off.
Like, watch out for heat stroke. But just walk around and talk to people. Everyone was so relaxed and like, open pit garage. People were like working on cars in the middle of like the pit row and driving around. I don't know. It just felt like everybody was walked in and just went, I'll just be friends with everybody. It was very cool.
Everything is really accessible. If you have a pit bike, it's Road Atlanta. It's big. So if you've got a pit bike or a bicycle or something that
Good
will
idea.
help you move faster than just walking, that may be helpful. Road Atlanta is a great place to watch racing. So, but it's a long walk to some of those corners of the track. So if you have a bicycle or a little scooter or something that can help with that, that could be helpful. Sunscreen, comfortable
course.
shoes. Be prepared to be dirty and sweaty.
Buy these, like, what are they? Propel water or these other electrolyte tablet things. Because especially if you drink alcohol, drink those before you go to bed in the morning, and you'll feel way, way better. Because it's gonna be 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
Watch the drift expos. Those are fun.
Yeah, and
They're
you
real
can
fun.
a lot of times you can get your way into some of the drift cars as a passenger. They give ride-alongs and stuff like that. So if you wanted to ride along, you can do that. And I might be giving ride-alongs to the Trackhawk. So come find me and say hi. If you come find me in Road Atlanta and you're this guy, I will give you a ride in the car.
You can have 40 people. Like, was that good?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I'll remember. Noah Randall. If
Bring
you're
photo
Noah
ID,
Randall,
Noah.
bring
Right,
photo ID. Yeah, good one. All right, Tyler lives in the city and drives a Fiesta ST. He loves it, but is thinking of upgrading to a Mustang GT 2015. Will you be disappointed and miss the Fiesta more than you like the Mustang? Possible. I miss the Fiesta more than I like the Focus RS. So it's possible.
Did you ever rid yourself of the Focus RS?
No, I leased it, so I was stuck with it. I have new.
Did you swap a lease or something?
Nah, it was
You
too.
still have it?
I do, yeah. And we did a -1, went to 1552 18-inch wheels and all this adaptive coilovers and all this crazy shit.
Better?
To try and get it to ride better. Yes.
Cool.
Better. I'll talk about it in great detail once I have some actual driving experiences. Dude, here's the thing about the Mustang. It's a big car. It's not such a big space inside, but it's a big physical car. The nose is kind of bulbous. Whereas the Fiesta ST is sort of shrunk around you. So if it's a tiny light car versus a big lumbering heavy car. So
It'll be a lot
You
harder to
sit
park
behind a
and
very
drive.
long hood in the Mustang.
Yeah, especially if you live in a city. Like it'll be a little bit of a pain in the butt.
although if the roads are bad, I think the Mustang probably rides better.
Completely agree.
The Mustang will ride better than the Fiesta for
Yeah.
sure. Stock Mustang rides good on bumpy roads. But there's the thoughts. Would Fiat Chrysler ever make a mid-engine sports car to compete with Corvette? They have the trademark through AMC to remake the AMX. Remember the ME 412? They tried. Remember that thing?
No, I wrote.
You don't remember the ME
I wrote an
412
AMX once.
Yeah.
ME
pretty
dash.
badass.
I think it's ME dash the number 4 written out. Yeah, 412 written out.
Wow.
That had the first
It was
LED
cool
taillights I
looking.
ever saw.
Yes. That's a sexy motherfucker, that
That's
car.
a cool car.
Really looks good.
Wow, looking at that and then think 350Z for a second.
Remember we had the guys on the podcast that built this thing? They're down in the guys
Oh,
in
yeah.
Irvine
I remember
that,
that.
Yep.
actually did the build. Really cool. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fiat
I remember that
Chrysler is
car.
hemorrhaging money on everything but Jeep. They're just going to put Hellcat motors in everything until they're profitable.
I mean, Chrysler's down to the 300 in the Pacifica.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. So Chrysler's going to be done soon, right? Is that what we think?
Know. I mean, they have two things. Although I thought they would have already killed Lancia. Lancia still sells cars in Italy.
Yeah, the 300 Lancia and the fucking...
No, they killed those.
Oh, they did?
All they sell is the, what is it called? Some domestic market small car.
The Thema?
No, I can't remember what it's called. The Ypsilon.
Oh, yeah, the Ypsilon.
The Pacifica is very nice. We
It's
had one
really
for
nice.
a couple days.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
there's the Ypsilon.
Yeah,
Ooh,
they still
yikes.
sell that. And that's been...
It's got a
I think
PT
it was
Cruiser
new.
schnoz, doesn't it?
It's a
was new in,
futuristic
like,
PT Cruiser.
06 or... I mean, it's an ancient car.
It looks like you took a PT Cruiser and some Italian guy went, no, let me fix.
Yeah. Wow.
It's really not good.
All right.
No, Fiat Chrysler, they're going to milk the Hellcat motor and stick it in everything they can and try and save
The Pacifica Hurricane with the Hellcat platform.
And by the way, FCA makes a mid-engine sports car, and it's called the Alfa Romeo 4C, and nobody fucking buys it because it's not that good.
It's true.
Yeah. Tire suggestions for a daily driven W211 E55 AMG. Sport cups? No. Pilot Sport 4S? Yes.
Yeah.
Someone posted a meme. Do you see the meme on Twitter yesterday? That was like, every tire question ever, answer, just suck it up and get the Michelins.
Right.
It was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
There's a new Continental. I can't remember what it's called, but it's pretty much on par with Super Sports.
Really?
Yeah, and it's relatively affordable.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. We played with one.
Can you pull up continentaltire.com, Tim, and see what that is? Because I'd like to genuinely know.
It's a replacement tire. We tested, so you know how the Giulia Quadrifoglio comes on the Corsas. We wanted to see what it would be like on a a super high performance summer tire, not a track tire. And it wasn't that far off of the Corsas. I mean, it was like 0.03 on the skid pad. It was a little bit slower to 60, and the braking number wasn't that much worse.
I want to see.
Can you go to the tire rack, or is that not allowed?
Yeah, I mean, we can, sure. Yeah.
I'll find it. I can find it there quickly.
That's the kind of test where you want someone to step up and do it. You want to fucking know. I got to do it. I tested a Vora 400 on Super Sports and then Cups, and everyone had been complaining that the car wasn't fast enough on Super Sports and that you needed Cups. And then I drove it on Cups and I went, Super Sports are better.
Yeah.
Even though the Cup was faster for 2 laps.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And it was more sensitive to temperature changes, and it was more sensitive to alignments, and it got slicker when it went. And it was like, holy shit, for all that.
But the street stuff, pretty much, it gets hot and then it stays pretty consistent as long as you don't abuse it too much.
Yeah, but on the track, it's like, off the cliff. What do you think? Tim, have you found it on Tire Rack?
There it is. The Extreme Contact Sport.
Oh, Extreme Contact Sport. Okay. It is cheap. $160? What size is that?
That's what's on my car. Well, mine are older, though.
That's cheaper than a Super Sport, or than a 4S?
There was no matching set of... the 4 hadn't come out and the 4S hadn't come out, but there was no matching set of Super Sport for the Giulia, so it would have been like, I forget what it was, like a Mercedes front and Audi rear or vice versa.
God, I hate the
manufacturer
match.
So we didn't do that. So we tried these, which were new at the time, and I liked them. I was impressed by them.
They wore well, even?
Yeah.
Cool. That's a good one to throw in the bag.
That's not a bad tire. It's a good tire.
I had something that had a not good set of Continentals on it, and it turned me off for a minute.
Yeah, I've had bad.
Was it the 5 Series,
Sport
the regular 5 Series?
P or whatever it is? Yeah.
Not good. Thank you, Ashton. Thank you from New Zealand, Mark. I appreciate that. I like when we get a donation in the NZ dollars.
Yeah, thanks,
That's what's
Mac.
up. Say hi to my friend Anna Paquin, who's down in New Zealand right now. Is that it?
That's it.
That's the questions. Okay. So wait, when is Lightning Lap issue coming out, Tony?
Like 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks.
Awesome. Is that the next issue?
Yeah, that's the issue we're closing right now.
You got good trips coming up? You got a thing? Got
no,
gigs?
10 Best is coming up end of September. So I'll drive all the crop of 2019s then. Everything under, I think our price cap is 90 or something.
All right. What's the high cutoff on there? Can you say?
What do you mean? The price?
No, the high cutoff car. Is there? Oh, you can't do there's no nominations, right? It's just a list. It's all secret.
I don't know. I haven't seen the list, so
okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, it's
right.
everything you would expect that's new or significantly revised under $90,000.
Okay, so that's everything.
Something will be 88.
Yeah.
And then,
Is that with options or base price?
No, base price.
Okay.
And it's based on like 2.5 times the average transaction price of cars.
The base 911 is $89,000 with
We did that one year. We did that one year. We had a
Yeah.
911 because it just had gotten under like the $80,000 price cap at the time.
But how much is the one you tested for that?
Oh, the actual as tested?
Yeah.
Yeah, the base was like 79.9.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
tested, like
That's exactly
Turbo
right.
S.
Yeah.
Are you doing Pebble?
Yeah, I'm going next week.
What are you doing on a manufacturer trip?
Yeah, I'm
or?
going with Infinity. They have a concept car.
Oh, on the lawn? Or are you driving it?
No, I think they'll have it at the concept car, whatever display.
Yeah, it's
at
on like the putting
lodge.
green.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll have it. I think it's going to be at the Quail as well.
Cool. Quail seems like it's going to be awesome this year. It's like all these roofs and stuff. and-
There's also a huge Espada turnout. Aaron Robinson was telling me because they were encouraging Aaron to go and take his Espada. So
Is
Aaron's
that because
driving up there.
the people that brought Espadas last year, they were broke and they just left them there until this year?
Well, Aaron famously, like 5 years ago when he took his Espada up there, he had to repair it at Concorso Italiano.
Yeah.
So he was like, there might be a repeat of that.
It was a good
Have
story.
they just band together and get a service truck? Yeah, no, Quail is always going to be good. I'm bummed I'm missing it this year, but Grid
you're
Life
not
will be
going?
I'm going to Grid Life. It's the same weekend. Paid, not paid.
Right. Yeah.
I need to get paid.
and ride in drift car, maybe?
And drift car and track. I get a track hawk at Road Atlanta, which will be hysterical.
That'll be really funny.
It'll be either great or horrific, you know.
Yeah, we've got a shot of the going around Oak Tree of the track hawk, which was at Lightning Lap.
Two
on
wheels in the
wheels.
I have a great shot from One Lap of America. We took an X5M, me and Musto, and there's one of those corners where if you do a nice cut, you just get a big old yump.
bouncer.
And there was a photographer there, and he got both inside wheels like this far off the
Beautiful.
ground. It's a great shot. Oh man.
Yeah,
You're gonna have fun.
the video of the Trackhawk. I mean, you just watch. I mean, the one that's aimed at the front tire. It's just like the sidewall deflection in each. It's so hilarious. The thing is just.
Did you
shocking.
drive it?
No, I didn't drive it.
I haven't
play
driven
with
one
it.
yet. I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be funny as hell.
And we also had a GLC 63S.
yeah.
So like the slope back one. That thing was quick.
So I drove one of those when they came out, and on the street it was quick, but then I took it on the track.
I didn't drive it on
The
the track.
traction control was a complete disaster. It just if you get a little bit of anything, it just completely dies.
We had that. That happened on the street for us.
Yeah.
It kept killing it at any cornering over like 0.6
Oh,
G.
so the G-Wagon, if you turn
No, but
the
you
wheel,
could shut it off. It was a
You could.
collision. I think it was part collision warning system, and then if you go to ESP Sport, it
Yeah.
sort of like lets it do its thing. But yeah, it was annoying as hell. Like
Yeah.
you'd get into it after a car swap and turning the car off. Obviously, all the systems are on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty annoying.
That's the problem with all Mercedes. When you get in them, you have to press like 7 buttons
Right.
every time to get it in
set
the
up.
mode you
Yeah.
are. Yeah, and it doesn't have like a individual. Do they have it yet? They haven't put in like a button like
I can't
BMW's
remember.
M button yet,
I can't
where you
remember
could
if
program
does
it.
or not.
I don't know.
If they don't, they fucking should.
But I mean, it was more deep than that because it was like collision warning system needed to come off. So it wasn't
You
just
lean
like
it down and
suspension.
think you're about to crash into the
Yeah,
ground.
totally.
Oh boy. Yeah, just don't. We've learned don't bring SUVs in the rig. I don't
Yeah.
like the name Track Hawk because like that it means you're good at the track, and like we know it's not going to be.
Well, it weighs like
It should be like-
5,500
I don't understand.
pounds.
Did the name Hellcat just not translate? Because like, what's wrong with Charger Hellcat, Challenger Hellcat,
Well,
Grand
it's a
Cherokee
Jeep.
Hellcat?
Well, but
so what?
They have Trailhawk, right? Like,
I mean, it's a brand.
The fucking
yeah.
Hawk nomenclature shouldn't
I mean,
apply when the other option is Hellcat.
There's
should be
probably some
Albatross.
marketer somewhere that could give you the answer.
I
but
think they got it wrong.
It's probably not a great
Unless
answer.
it's like Dodge actually owns the trademark to it and not Jeep, even though it's under Fiat Chrysler.
Well, they
or
have
something.
Trailhawk though.
right.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's a dumb Hawk. Like
It is,
If
like-
you have to stretch it to Track Hawk as opposed to just calling it fucking Hellcat Jeep,
But I think they're sticking with the Hawk.
it's stupid. That's
It's a
what
Hawk
my
thing.
argument is. The Hawk thing is dumb as
And,
applies to this vehicle.
Hawks are more nimble than, it should be Track Albatross or something. I don't know. It's
oh, yeah, the
it's
Pa-
5,000
The
pounds.
Track
Patriot
Condor.
Trailhawk really nimble.
Did you see Thad's picture of a hawk just chilling in a car in Dubai?
Yeah.
Habibi.
No, the airplane that has like there's a photo of like a 777 that has a whole area that's just falcons sitting on perches.
Oh, I've seen
It's
that. Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
With the masks on.
Yes.
Here's a guy in a SUV with a Falcon.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Thaddeus has got it fucking going on with the Falcons in Dubai. Oh man, should I go get a 3-legged kitten right now?
Do it.
Yeah,
I
man.
think I'm gonna do that. Thanks for coming down, Tone.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate
It's always
it.
fun. It's super
Have
fun.
fun at Pebble. I'm a little jealous.
Have fun at
that I'm not
Redwood.
going. Oh, dude, you got to come to a Grid Life. It's really fun.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
Yeah,
I
and
believe
if
it.
you're media, it's great. Unlike Pebble, where if you're media, you're
dirt.
You're dirt. Yeah, you know, they treat you like you really should be lucky to be here.
Right.
Your phone's vibrating. Sorry. At Grid Life, if you're media, you have a run of the place.
Right.
Yeah, because they actually care about people
Right.
coming.
They want coverage, yeah. And
yeah,
a lot
Pebble,
of people go.
they'd
A
really
ton of
some
people
less
go.
people to go.
Right, yeah. How can we make this more expensive so fewer people
It's like
show up?
people know about it. We don't need you to come here and talk about
I think tickets to the Quail are 700, 750,
Yeah, I thought they were 1,000.
1,000.
I thought they were.
That's where it pays to be media. You get the same open bar everyone else does.
Yeah, I can eat all the same foods.
Open oyster bar.
Yep.
I love the open
Jeez.
oyster bar.
Wow.
But you got to
As
get
much
there for
champagne
breakfast
as you
because them
want.
oysters are in the sun for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
What's the Quail bathroom situation? Probably pretty good.
There's really nice porta potties.
You got to go around the
Yeah.
corner to Baja Cantina.
Ooh,
They're used to the volume.
that's a good car show there.
They're set up for it.
I'm excited. We got next show. We got Jake Auerbach from RM Auctions. He's an auction analyst, and he's going to be coming in Monday, which is before Pebble. But then the show will air the week before Pebble. The show will air before Pebble. Yes, our timeline will work.
That will air not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. Because we got next week will be
Maybe not.
Roof
I'm wrong.
and then
Oh,
Tony.
shit, I'm wrong. Well,
You're doing 2 a week now?
yeah.
Wow.
It may last. We're trying to keep up with you.
I love it. I love doing
2 a
these
week
shows.
is-
I mean, but I imagine it's work for you. So
No. We really enjoy doing it. It's
Yeah.
not about that at all. It's just he's got to travel for a gig, and Tim's got to travel for a gig, and I got gigs, and then when you combine that with scheduling guests, it's just
complicated.
It's just a challenge to actually make the time to do it. That's all. But the sitting here and bullshitting about cars, yeah, we could do this forever. This is easy.
Same.
Not work.
Same.
Not work. I didn't record the fucking ad, Zach.
No, I know. We'll do it
Before I
after
record
this.
here.
We're gonna break speed and then record.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Thank you to all of you who have watched and donated live. It's been a lot of fun, and we like having the interaction. You guys hanging out with us here on the show. You want to plug anything, Zach?
No, I don't know. One Take's coming out. Same thing. Just subscribe to us and hit the alarm button so that you actually get notifications that we have new videos up.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, you could go 6 months and go, I don't know. Someone asked like your 720 video.
Yeah.
Other things. People ask like where are the Clapman videos. It's like they're up literally like on the site that you subscribe to theoretically. So
Yeah.
just look
Sometimes
at the
people
YouTube.
don't see that shit.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, folks. I'm gonna go get a little kitten right now. You guys have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. See you later.